Hier ist die neue Folge der Ökonomie-Videos.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are cracking open the digital vault to figure out what a crypto wallet really is. You probably think it holds your crypto, right? Well, the truth is, it's way more interesting and honestly, a lot more secure than that. Okay, let's get into it.
So let's kick things off with a bit of a puzzle. Your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, whatever you have, none of it is actually stored inside your wallet. Nope, it all lives on the blockchain, this massive public ledger. So what in the world is the wallet for? How does it act as the gatekeeper to your digital life? That's the big secret we're going to unlock today.
Okay, first things first, we've got to clear up a super common mix-up. We all hear the word wallet, and our brain immediately jumps to something like the Apple Wallet on our phone. You know, it's a handy little app for your boarding passes, your movie tickets, that kind of thing. But a crypto wallet, it's a totally different beast. It doesn't hold your assets, it holds the proof that you own them. It holds the keys to the kingdom. So here's the most crucial point to remember. A crypto wallet is really more like a super secure digital keychain. Or maybe think of it like a password manager for your money. It's basically a directory that stores your public addresses, that's how people can send you crypto, and, way more importantly, it guards the secret keys you need to actually access and spend those funds.
Now, to really understand how those keys work their magic, we need to take one step back and talk about the bedrock of all digital security, encryption. At its core, it's just about sending secret messages that only the right person can possibly read.
The simplest form of this is called symmetric encryption. The easiest way to think about it is like your house key. You use the exact same metal key to lock your front door when you leave, and you use that same key to unlock it when you get home. One key, two jobs. Simple, right? Well, kinda. And this can be, incredibly basic. A classic example is a simple cipher, where you just shift every letter one place forward in the alphabet. So A becomes B, B becomes C, and the word hello suddenly turns into this jumble, IBMMP. For someone to read the real message, all they need to know is the secret rule. Just shift every letter back one space.
But here's the big, glaring problem. If anyone, and I mean anyone, gets their hands on that one single key, that secret rule, your security is toast. It's completely gone. And for a modern computer, cracking a simple code like that is absolute child's play. So for something as valuable as crypto, we need a much, much stronger lock. And that brings us to the absolutely genius solution that powers all of crypto. It's called asymmetric encryption. And the idea is instead of one shared key, we're going to use two totally different keys that work together as a perfect team.
So let's just put them side by side to see the difference. You've got symmetric encryption on one side, with that single shared key doing all the work. And then you have asymmetric encryption, which gives you a matched pair, a public key which you can shout from the rooftops, and a private key which you have to guard with your life. Now this two-key system has two functions that are basically magic. First up, privacy. If you want to send me a secret message, you find my public key and use it to lock the message. The only thing in the entire universe that can unlock it is my matching private key. And second, authentication. When you want to send crypto, your wallet signs the transaction with your private key. This creates a unique digital signature that proves you and only you approved it, because anyone can verify that signature using your public key. Okay, but this whole fortress of security relies on one single, absolutely critical fact. Your private key must be impossible to guess. So how is that even possible? How can we be so confident that no one, no hacker, no supercomputer can just stumble upon your secret key? Well, the answer lies in a number so ridiculously big, it's hard for our brains to even process. I mean, it's a totally fair question, right? At the end of the day, a private key is just a long string of data. It's just a number. So what's stopping a powerful computer from just trying every single possible combination until it hits yours? The answer is just raw, brute force mathematics. Your private key is a 256-bit number. All that means is it's a sequence of 256 ones and zeros. The number of unique combinations that can make is 2 to the power of 256. Now that might not sound like a huge number, but just wait until you see what it actually looks like.
There it is. That is the number of possible private keys. It's a number with 78 digits. I mean, it has a name, 115 duodecillion or something, but the name doesn't really help you get it. To really grasp the scale, we're going to need an analogy.
Just let that sink in for a minute. The number of possible private keys you could have is about the same as the estimated number of atoms in the entire known universe. So, trying to guess your key isn't like finding a needle in a haystack. It's like trying to find one specific, pre-chosen atom out of every single atom that exists. It's just not going to happen.
Let's break that down even more. Imagine you had a computer that could guess 100 billion keys every single second. It would still take that computer trillions and trillions of years, many, many, many times the current age of the universe, to go through them all. It's why the odds of two different wallets just accidentally generating the same private key are, for all intents and purposes, 0. Okay, so we have this unguessable, universe-sized secret key. How does that become the public address that you can safely share with people to get paid? Well, the process is a beautiful piece of cryptography that works like a one-way street. It's super easy to go forward, but absolutely impossible to go back.
The magic ingredient that makes this work is something called a hash function. The best way to think of it is like a digital fingerprinting machine. You can put anything into it, your key, a sentence, the entire text of a book, and it spits out a unique fixed-length code. If you change even one tiny letter of the input, you get a completely different output. And here's the critical part. You can't take that fingerprint and reverse engineer what created it. It only works in one direction.
So this all comes together in a simple 3-step journey. Step 1, it all starts with your secret private key, the one you never ever share. Step 2, from that, a complex mathematical process derives your public key. And finally, step 3, that public key is pushed through a hash function to create your much shorter, more convenient public address. And because hashing is a one-way street, nobody can use your public address to figure out your public key, and they definitely can't use it to find your private key.
Now, all this talk about unguessable numbers and complex math is fantastic for security. But what about us humans? How are we supposed to remember or manage all this stuff? Well, that's where your wallet's ultimate backup plan comes in, the master recovery phrase. This is your seed phrase, or you might hear it called a recovery phrase. It's just a list of 12 or 24 simple, everyday words. Think of it like a mega password for your entire wallet. If you lose your phone or your computer dies, you just enter these words in the exact right order into a new wallet, and poof, it regenerates all of your private keys and gives you access to all your funds again.
And don't think for a second that this is some kind of security weakness. It's not. The words are chosen from a very specific list of 2048 words, and the order is absolutely critical. For a 12-word phrase, this creates a number of possible combinations that is just staggering, over 11 sectillion. It's the exact same principle of security through massive numbers, just packaged in a way that's actually human-readable.
So, there you have it. Your crypto wallet isn't really a wallet, it's a keychain. And its incredible security doesn't come from a steel vault, but from a number that's literally as big as the universe. The whole secret to owning your digital assets comes down to one thing: protecting that one secret key or the seed phrase that creates it. The only question left is, now that you know the secret, are you ready to protect it? Thanks for tuning in to The Explainer.